Hi, Professor. Today I'm going to share my top three takeaways from Karen E. Hinton's work on strategic planning, and I will tie them back to what we have learned over the last 7 modules. As I read this week's assignment, I noticed a huge connection. The strategic planning process is incredibly similar to the treatment plan I create with my clients in the therapeutic setting. Figuring out a starting point, setting goals, measuring progress are things I do every day, and I love seeing how these therapeutic approaches apply to organizations as well. In one of the readings, there was a verbatim overlap with therapy, and I am finding it more and more as the measurable and realistic planning process will be addressed in my following presentation. Uh, Here are my top three takeaways. Uh, so takeaway number one, an action plan without measurable data isn't very useful. Hinton specifies how measurable specific goals are important. This connects perfectly to what we learned earlier from Del Prino. Del Prino did a great job explaining how an organization must identify its core mission, a point Hinton also makes. Just like in therapy, an organization has to know its identity and mission before it can successfully plan for the future in a specific measurable direction, as both authors stated. Um, another, My second key takeaway is the value of having the right stakeholders, as noted by Bryson and Hinton as well. The overlap between Bryson and Hinton is also about stakeholders verbatim. Bryson pointed out that analyzing stakeholders must be specific and purposeful to meet an organization's Goals. This is prevalent with Hinton as well. This is such a big connection and is important. This is such a big connection and important to know so that the institution can move forward in the same direction in a united way, with everyone involved. Uh, Another, my last takeaway, my final takeaway is about implementation and evaluation. In my clinical work, I do 6 months reviews to track clients' progress. I realize now that I need to apply the same focus on finding measurable data to assess progress in this administrative work too, within higher ed strategic planning. This ties right into the work of Falquito and colleagues et al. They noted that strategic planning works best when everyone, faculty, staff, students, is actively involved from the start, instead of being told about decisions after they happen. Both Hinton and Falquito show that getting everyone on board early is the best way to counter problems and keep the plan on track. This also works because everyone's interconnected as well, and intervention can be swift and direct. To wrap up, there is a lot of overlap across these modules. Therapeutic approach of finding an identity, assessing the environment, and tracking measurable goals is just as prevalent in strategic planning, which I don't feel is lost anymore. Combining Hinton's practical steps with the ideas from the Prino, Bryson, and Falquito gives us a great blueprint for success.